I will always be helped to remember to hit record, but I record the classes and I'll show you. I have a YouTube channel. And I post, what we do today, I post it on YouTube later on this afternoon. For a couple of reasons. Number one, in case you ever need to, hey, what the heck did he say? I really need to see that. You can go back and review it. If you're absent, you can see what happened. First, cross my fingers, hopefully nobody, if there's an exposure, you end up having to stop and quarantine or something. All you have to do is, hey, Espadel, could you send me the link so I can watch class live? Or you have the posting on YouTube later on. I can always, because I recorded on Zoom, then I post it on YouTube. So there's access all the time. This is the only exercise I can give back. Smoke. Oh, yeah. Fresh out. So we subtract the two y coordinates and divide by the difference in the x coordinates. So the slope is equal to 8 minus this y is -7. The word negative means, unhappy, depressed, feeling bad. Negative means a hug, parentheses. Whenever you substitute the negative, it really helps if you remember to put parentheses. This is how I teach. I don't do stuff in my head and just put the answer on the board. I'm going to show you every single step. So you don't have to sit there and go, what the hell just happened? Some of you still might ask, what the heck just happened? You might ask, different. What the? Whatever. But you have to let me know, and I can explain it better. Over this x -11 minus this is a -5, so minus parentheses -5. Now, when you have two consecutive negatives, minus a negative, this becomes that becomes a positive. So this is now 8 plus 7 over -11 plus 5. So 8 plus 7 is 15. -11 plus 5 is -6. The directions on every single quiz, every single test is always going to say simplify, reduce the lowest terms, no decimals. So we got to simplify the fraction. A positive over a negative, the answer is going to be a negative. This is 5 times 3. This is 2 times 3. So you have a common factor of the 3's. You're left with -5 over 2. That's the slope. Now, what the heck does slope mean? We'll talk about it on Thursday. But I'll tell you right now, slope is probably one of the most important concepts, most important words of all of that. Everything you do is slope. You guys deal with slope every single day. You buy gas, that's a slope. But when you drive to school, when the cop's going over, it's because your slope is too high. It's a rate, something compared to something else. Miles per hour, that's a slope. A change of one thing divided by a change of something else. Next. I will write down the formula every single time underneath. This is just something that helps me ingrain the formula into my own head. If I'm going to use something, I'm going to write it down. I'm not doing it for you, I do it for me. I won't ever forget it. I know what I need to do. Otherwise, if I just start showing you numbers, it's like, what are you talking about? Okay. Even on my own answer, I write down, and here's my slope point. Well, y sub 2, so this y, -2, minus this y, which is also a -2, divided by the second x, which is a +2, minus the first x, which is a -12. -2, 2 consecutive negatives becomes +2, +2, 2 consecutive negatives becomes +12, -2 + 2, 0, 2 + 12, 14. This 0/14 just baffles every level of students that I teach. From arithmetic all the way to calculus, because they can't remember what the answer is. They know when zeros in a fraction, there's something weird there. So they guess, and they usually, sometimes when they guess, they get it wrong. Zero divided by any number versus a number divided by 0. Think about it. Hopefully, your entire mathematical career, you have been told you cannot divide by 0. It's remote. 90, yes, do it. You cannot divide by 0. But right now, I'm not free. If I have 0 divided by 5, what that means is, how many times can 5 go into 0? That's what it means. What times 5 makes 0? 0 times 5 is 0. So 0 in the numerator, the answer is 0. Anything into 0, except 0, we'll talk about that later. Anything into 0 is equal to 0. 0 on the top, 0. Except 0 on the bottom. Talk about that later. Number over 0. So if I switch that, 5 over 0. How many times can 0 go into 5? So what times 0 makes 5? What happens if you multiply by 0? What do you get? Always get 0. 8 times 0, 0. 27 times 0, 5 times 0, 0. -38 times 0, 0. Anything you try to multiply is going to be a zero in here. It's impossible to make 5. You can't divide by 0. So 0 in the denominator is undefined. There is no value. You can't do it. Undefined. That's the answer. Undefined. This one's going to blow your mind when you get to it. We'll talk about it on Thursday. What do you got? You have 0 in both places. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on that. So if you have 0 on top, the answer is 0. Well, wait a second. We just said you can't divide by 0. You can't have 0 on top. The answer is undefined. Well, let's talk about that. Sure. So this means 0 over 0. Both of that is 0. Which means those 2 points make a very special kind of line. Not lecturing today, I'm kind of reviewing what hopefully you've been exposed to. It's somewhere there in your files in the testing object. Okay. In order to graph, and you're going to do a lot of graphing. I call it an idle. The most incredible thing about mathematics is once you get something, you will be able to look at it and know exactly what you're looking at. When I look at this equation, because that's x to the first, exponent is a 9, x to the first, and that's a y. You have x and a y. The graph of that, what it looks like, is just a straight line. Always, no matter what. It's always going to be a straight line. You have an x to the first letter, that's a straight line. Here we just have a y, that's a straight line. If the degree is a 1, for just ones, straight lines. If I do this, then the shape of that graph is a parabola. A parabola that looks like either this and maybe it goes upside down. There's going to be a parabola. If I put the square on the y, then I know the parabola goes left or right. If I put squares on both of them, then I know we have an ellipse. Just by knowing they're both squares, and that's 32 and that's a 6, if they're not the same numbers, it's an ellipse. If they're the same numbers, if this is 6x squared, that's 6y squared, that would have to be a positive. Then that's going to be a perfect circle. Because they're both squares, and it's 6x squared and 6y squared. They're exactly the same values of x squared y. That's going to be a perfect circle. Just by looking at the equation, exactly. If I make it a minus instead of a plus, then I know we have a hyperbola. I know you could care less right now, but if you're headed down a certain road, it's not that difficult if you just practice. Right now, it's just 1. In order to get the slope of the y-intercept, what you have to do is get y by itself. You have to solve for y. You have to undo everything being done to the y. Isolate the y. So because I need a little bit of room, usually these boxes will be bigger. By the way, this is kind of what your tests look like. The boxes are bigger. At the bottom of the box is where you put your answers, that kind of thing. I always grade work as well as answers. because sometimes your answer may be wrong, or maybe we're going to reduce it to lowest terms. So you get partial credit, 4 out of 5 instead of 5 out of 5, but you don't lose everything because. No, 32x plus 6y equals negative 15. If I'm trying to get y by itself, I'm trying to get u. I'm trying to get y by itself. Y equals 10x plus b. The first thing I have to do is get x on the other side. I want y by itself. I want y over here all by itself. So I subtract 32x from both sides. So that leaves on the left side 32x minus 32x is 0. I just have a positive 6y. Equal to. Now on this side, order kind of matters because it's going to help you figure things out. You want the x term first. So the x term is a negative 32x. And the constant, the one without x, is a negative 15. So that's what 6y is. We could care less what 6y. We want 1y. This is multiplication. To undo multiplication, you have to do division. Because I want to know what 1y is. So I have to divide by 6. Now, here's what some of you will do. And it's going to mess you up. You divide this side by 6, and then you divide this side by 6. And remember, you always have to reduce. So you're over here, you're trying to reduce this thing over here. You can only reduce common factors. So you actually have to factor before you can reduce. So here's how you fix that. When you multiply or you divide both sides, they're the same thing. If I divide one term by 6, everybody gets divided by 6. Sorry for the even number, the 3 6. You divide one thing by 6, everybody gets divided by 6. You got y equals reduce. So that's a negative 32 and 6. And what's on the factor is a 2. So that's 2 times 16 over 2 times 3 with an x minus the common factor of 15 and 6 is a 3. So that's 3 times a 5 over 3 times a 2. And if you notice, I know if you want to, you can just, I'll show you. I show the factory because if I did my hair, again, y equals negative 16 over 3 x minus 3 reduced 5 over 2. Yes, you could go, hey, 2 goes into that 16, 2 goes into that 3 times. 3 goes into that 5 times, 3 goes into that 2 times. Perfectly fine. If you want to do that. I will always show the factory so everybody knows what I do. So now, I need So we got our y equals mx plus b. M is the coefficient of x, not the x. So this is the slope. Plus b. B comes after the x. The y-intercept is -5. It's those two pieces that tell us how to graph the line. We'll do this one right here. You gotta get y by itself. Well, here's the messed up piece. Y is on the wrong side. Y is supposed to be left to right. You either switch it now or you can switch it at the end. It doesn't matter. We'll take the switch later. Or you don't have to switch it as long as you got y by itself. No, it's all good. But you got one more. Right. Some people need to see it as it's supposed to. But all you have is multiplication. You want that y by itself. It's being multiplied by -15. -15. So the only thing you can do is divide by -15 on both sides. That's it. If you want one y, just divide by -15. So on this side, common factor is a 3. 3 times 2 into negative. 3 times 5, x. We have a negative. The 3's reduced. -2/5 x equals y. And if you are able to read left to right, right to left, you can go ahead and put the answer. Or there was something hopefully studied in geometry way back then, something called the symmetric problem. If A equals B, then B equals A. If this is equal to y, then y can equal -2/5. That can be just I really wish that the chipping effect fell out. Tracking it. I need like a silly copy. This. We want y equals mx plus b. There's the x. And there's something in front. There's my slope. That's my slope. -2/5. But plus b, there's nothing there. What number would you add would be nothing? 0. What we're adding right here that you don't see is because it would be a +0. So if you have +0, you wouldn't put it because -2 plus x plus 0 is just -2 plus x. So what this means is the y-intercept is 0 if all you have is that x. So sometimes you have to see things when they're out there. With that, I have to y, no x. So it's y equals mx plus b. We're supposed to get y by itself. That's the key. Get y by itself. So you get this y by itself. y equals mx plus b. That's a positive 9, so you're going to subtract 9 from both sides. So on this left side, negative 6y is what you have left over, equal to 24 minus 9 is 15. Negative 6 times y, so we divide those sides. Divide both sides by negative 6. So a positive over a negative is going to be a negative. Again, the common factor is a 3. 3 times a 5 over 3 times a 2. So it's a negative 5 over 2. No x. So let's do, okay, this is where I get the analogy of, this is like a police line. Somebody took your backpack, you saw them do it, but you still have to go into the station and do a line and identify who took the backpack. So let's line everybody up. Y equals mx plus b, and all you have is y equals negative 5 over 2 without the x. What would m have to equal to make x not be there? What times x makes it go away? 0. 0 power. You add 0, nothing happens, and multiply by 0, everything goes to 0. This right here is actually y equals 0 times x. 0 times x, and then you have minus 5 over 2. That's what this is. 0 times x is 0, minus 5 over 2, and that's how you end up with just negative 5 over 2. So the slope, when you just have y equal to a number, y to the constant, the slope is always 0. And that number, that constant, that's your y-intercept. Remember, it's not a slope unless it has an x next to it. That's why this, right here, we got y equals negative 2 over 5 times x. So that negative 2/5, that's the slope because it's the coefficient of the x. And the y-intercept is 0 because there's nothing after the x. This one doesn't have an x. So the only way to make x go away is because it was 0 times x. So it's still 0. Okay, so again, name on at least one thing I should know. What I want you to do, because you're going to take a 10-minute break right now. What I want you to do is just pile them over here in the front of the room. And when you pile them over here in front of the room, you can pick up a syllabus and student registration form. So I can show you how to get in and do the homework. Okay? So pick these 2 pieces up and put your little warm up right here. Okay? So make sure you grab that. And when we get back, make sure I hit, I unpause this. We got this thing turned in. Also going to help you take roll today. I will call out roll. Did everybody pick up one of each? You need it, you get it. Oh. What about that? Chicken, right? So 103-71020, that's our class number. Jim Esquivel, like I said, been teaching a lot of years. I started off because I got cut from, my brother was I was the last of 6 kids. I was 8 years between me and my oldest. The next oldest. My mom was 45, my dad was 50. They thought they were done. I like to call it a surprise. But back then it was an accident. I don't know. But my parents sacrificed a lot to send all 6 kids through Sacred Heart Elementary and South People Board. Everyone. So private education. It was a good education. Taught me how to rebel. But my brother was the head basketball coach at South People Board. When I tried out as a freshman, I got cut. Not even my mom didn't do that. Equal. You know, these days there's a lawsuit going on. I don't know. I had one parent, because this is what happened when I was 14. I went to coach. Because I understood what I was supposed to do. I'd been around my brother's team since I was like 8 years old. I understood I was just too slow, couldn't shoot, I couldn't hurt anyone. See, I would have cut me too. So I went into coaching, and I coached 6th graders, 7th, 8th graders, and then, made my way up the chain. But when I was in college, my first year at UCLA, I was looking aerospace engineering. Decided, you know what? I like coaching when I was. And it wasn't because there was a girl here present, but I did move back to the Fresno State to begin with math. It's a lot older. A lot older. And I applied for a coaching job at San Diego Memorial. Those I just know that can't coach. And those that can't coach. I started coaching. After a couple of years, my former biology teacher, Memorial, was now a principal, and I said, hey, you can bring us out coaching after you want to teach math. I don't have a degree. That's all. Here's what. So they threw me in the classroom. I did finish up most of my degree that summer. I had to do one more class over. But at Memorial, it doesn't matter. I don't need it. My brother was my older brother was a history major who taught geology. My principal was Chicago. That's what that is. That one each here. Talking about that. You gotta practice so you can play. If you don't practice, you can't play. Memorial, after 3 years, was by 1 year of purgatory, as we call it, at junior high school level. Then I went to high school in 2007. 2007, I've been there. I've been not everything. I would hey, very good with that. That phone number is my office. Last semester, teaching face to face, I probably spent cumulative maybe 40 minutes actually. I'm not in my office. I'm in here. One of my, the best way to get a hold of me is, and people why my cutting and pasting skills are really weak. The email has changed, but that still works. But it should be after Derek calls that to you. I did cut the space physically done. Use either one, you still get me. Okay. That is my office. 81 before. If you go along the balcony over here, go all the way to the far building, second floor. If I'm not in here, check the office. I probably won't be in there. But leaving a message on the phone, first of all, hi, this is Billy Bob. Well, I got like 4 Billy Bobs. Which Billy Bob are you? Could you call me back at 559-783? I have no idea what you want, who you are, what the number is. Email. I'll get it anywhere and everything. Textbook, we'll go over that in a minute. I'll tell you right now, you do not actually have to buy the physical book itself. You can if you want to, but you will not be asked to do any homework and follow along. The homework is online, it's on Pearson. We'll talk about that. I'll stop. Keep going over here. So that's way so I do all my office hours in here. It works out better. More students will show up if they're not intimidated by doing one-on-one in a really small room. Not to mention that. I'll get more people to show up because sometimes one person might ask a question that happens to help 3 people. It's a place to come and just get your homework done as you're doing your homework. Ask questions. If you but Monday to Thursday, I'm in here at 7:30. Okay. Also on Tuesday and Thursday, I usually never have a break in between that content this semester. I will have an office hour extra one on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 to 11:50. So that's 6 of them. And then last semester, I did an online office hour every semester last fall. And I would email all my classes and say, hey, here's the Zoom link if you want to, on Friday, 9 to 10. I'm ready. And maybe 2 times actually log in. But I sat there every Friday. This semester, if you want to need help on Friday, request it. I'll be there for you. I'll send you the link, send it out. So I request on Friday. It's not like I going to class. It's not like I'm not going to go to the beach or anything. Every Friday afternoon, we get perfect time. That's when you want that to be. Right? So as you can see, I got now 3A, you can move on here, 4A, there. Again, that's when the whole week is that email. I have a Canvas page and I will post up on Canvas. And when I do an email, like later on this afternoon, when I send you the link to the YouTube, if you want to look at today's, I will send the link to my entire class because that's the only way to connect. I talk to all of you as one is through Canvas. But when you respond or reply to me through Canvas, I can't separate your email out from the entire class email that it's sent. And I want to be able to keep track of just you if I need to. And especially sometimes you might ask me, can you tell me what my grade is or whatever? If I accidentally hit reply all, I don't want to sit there and grade out everybody. The best thing you can do is not email me through Canvas. You have your outside emails and then email me in my upload. Just try to not email back and forth with me if you can. Yes. I just use it to give the entire class. I will respond to you. Okay. Just email me Canvas. And I might say, you know, this would be better if you emailed me here from your other email. That way I can keep track of it. Supplies. You need a scientific calculator. You don't need a graphing calculator, but you need a scientific calculator. You need something like this. Anywhere from $8 to $10, $12 Target, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, whatever. Something that adds, subtracts, multiplies, divides, square roots, exponents. Okay, would be nice. You can use a calculator at any time for anything. You cannot use your phone. Your phone is not a calculator. Your phone is an internet device. You cannot use anything that is an internet device. So real calculators. So when I demonstrate things on, on the board here, I'll be using the TI-84 as a demonstration. Okay, and that's this one. That's this one. Okay. They have these in the library if you want to check one out. You have to be passionate. You can learn how to use it if you want to get one out. But the calendar, that's what the calendar is for calendar. A lot of these dates don't apply to you because we're teachers. You do apply to your other classes. Yeah. You have Monday, Wednesday. So the last day to drop for a full refund. So you get all your money back. Would be Friday the 21st. Last day to add or to drop to avoid a W is the 3-week one, Friday the 28th. So does anybody need the W explained? Last day to drop to avoid a W. Now, Martin Luther King next Monday. We're not Monday, so but if you have a Monday class, it's the school. In February, there's a 4-day weekend, 18th Friday to the 21st. That's our President's Day 4-day weekend. If you want to try to match this up with other school districts, high schools or whatever, public school districts, usually we get 2 3-day weekends, get this Monday off, get this Monday off. We do a 4-day weekend. We do Friday, Monday. Again, not going to affect us because it's Tuesday, Thursday. Going back one row, in back in March 11th. March 11th is the 9-week cutoff, halfway through the semester. That's the last day to drop the class. Okay. So if you're going to drop the class, you will get a W at that time overall instead of getting a grade. Here's the deal. I talk about absences. Those companies who think that they have to there at the end. But if you don't drop by the 11th, you cannot cannot drop after the 11th unless you got good reason. You know, the whole process. And I can't drop you. If your intention is to drop the class, then go ahead and go and do it. You're the web advisor to drop the class. Don't expect that I'm going to drop you just because you stop showing up, especially if your number of absences kind of gets low here in the last week. I like to give students the benefit of the doubt. So if your intention is to drop, you can do it. Otherwise, we're stuck with each other, and if you just stop coming because you thought I dropped you, you're still on my roster, and I'm going, well, I can't drop you. I can't drop you now. I can give you whatever grade you have. Instead. Then next month, April 11th through the 15th is our spring break. Okay, so no classes during that week. Okay. Last but not least, the day of reckoning, Monday. Shoot. I put the right date. It's Tuesday. But it's Tuesday the 17th, not Monday. Tuesday the 17th. I'm going to tell you. Tuesday the 17th. This is my cut and paste here. But I'm writing these stop board and syllabi, cut and paste here and there. And not that I expect you to remember, I will remind you. Finals always start at the top of the hour, no matter where you start in the middle of the hour. So start at 3. Our final set. Even if we started at 8:50, the final will start. Every final is always an hour and 50 minutes. Any questions? So, class is designed to introduce you to the intermediate algebraic concepts that are used in the entire level. This factor, covering a minimum of 2 sections of material. You must have mastered basic algebraic skills in the class. And if you haven't mastered it, then you've got to communicate with each other. And let's start meeting office hours that can help. I'm not going to read the concepts that we cover, which you cover the phone. Of course, outcomes and recognition will feel that you care about what you have to do. Homework. I'm going to walk you through this after I go to the syllabus. Homework is completed on Pearson MyLab. And that's the course ID they're going to ask you for. My name is Escabel, ends with an L, so that's an L, not a 1. I've had students type a 1 in there, and 5 weeks into the semester say, I can't get in. We've already can't wait. Now you read it. What do you type in? 1 point, it's an L. So that's the course ID. I'll show you how that works. Homework is due, and basically what this means is Pearson is going to cut you out at 8:30 with testing. You have basically homework is up and running right now. If you log into Pearson, account going, you can start the homework today. You have until the day of the test. Now, I have to put it to in there. And I hope that we take our test before the day of the drop. That's where I always plan. I will tell you right now, if my philosophy is, if I don't feel like we are ready to do the test at that time, I will do it then. I'm never gonna just say, all right, we're gonna do that, you're not ready. But homework is due the day of the test. I write my own tests. I don't use cookie cutter tests and just copy it from somewhere else. I write the test and basically I just base these homework problems. What you saw right there was the test questions from the 201 class. What we did in one. Most important tool to prepare for the test, thorough completion of each assignment is vital. Late homework will not be accepted. So what that means is the late homework policy. Late homework is not accepted. Due to the day of our unit exam, your score is going to reflect what you earned from the beginning of the unit until the day of the exam. In other words, if Pearson says you've done 85.4% of the homework, that's your score for that unit. 85.4, you only complete 16.8, then that's your score. So no, you don't get any more time. Whatever you get done is what you earn. You get multiple attempts to get the problem right. Okay, now that means you get 3 attempts to do the question, and then if you don't get it right, question the problem. But you always get 100% on the homework, even if you get things wrong, you can ask her a new question and turn it into a right question. And I will walk you through all of that. We might have to do a little bit more of this part on Thursday. But homework. And I just put this on here to scare people. I can give one every class. But I could if I want. You will always know this. Not even if you piss me off. I'm not going to let you guys get under my skin and say I'm going to hurt your grade. This quiz will be given after we go over the previous assignment and we'll cover previous material. It's always announced. So if we have a quiz next week, I'll tell you this. Nothing to I'll tell you this. Some quizzes may be given as a table list. I might give you here a piece of paper, we'll talk about it, turn this in, first day, first. I can give seven quiz on my own. Okay. If you're absent, they cannot be made up. What's going to happen if there's a quiz next week? You're going to have 4 people saying, because people get the anxiety they just don't want to deal with. It always happens next slide of life. No makeup, no retakes. I do drop it to those quizzes at the end of the semester. So if you miss 2 quizzes, those zeros are dropped. Some quizzes have bonus questions, so you can build up your overall quiz average to help replace if you miss 3 quizzes, to help replace if you have a 0 on the next quiz or a low score on something. Right? But I've got 2 lows. We don't have a ton of quizzes. Trying to get about 6 in the semester, maybe. Maybe 4 or 10. Quizzes are open notes. Open anything you want to have open, just keep your eyes on your paper, not on anybody else's. Just like we did with that warm-up today at the beginning of class. If we have a quiz, I usually put up questions. Hey, look at these couple of problems. This is what your quiz is going to be on at the end of class today. And you can use those warm-ups that will do the quiz at the end of class. You just have to apply to a different set of numbers, different set of questions. It's about practice. It ease the anxiety before we get to the exam. exams are not open. There's a minimum of 5 unit tests and a comprehensive final given during the course of the semester. Show your work. Answers are not enough. Just show your work is like great work. Work has to justify your answer. Right? Every exam is worth 100 basically percentage points. You might have the next test, this test I think is worth 80. But what I do is if you get 60 out of 80, that's 75%. I put 75% in, not 60 out of 80. I put 10%. That way, all the tests are weighted the same. Even the finals only work 100%. So one test. It's not like we're 3 tests where it's going to kill you. All weighted the same amount. Right? The final's not optional. Everyone takes the final. Now, here's the deal. If your SMART final is greater than your lowest exam score, then the final will count twice and replace your lowest. If you miss a test during the semester, take the final and it replaces that 0 because you missed it, because there's no makeup test. If you miss a test, I want to give tests back the next time we meet. Take a test on Tuesday, only give back on Thursday. Take it on Thursday, only give back on Tuesday. I can't do that if there's somebody who still needs to take the test. And what happens when somebody putting it off? I can't do it this week. We do it like in 3 weeks. Can't see my face. So it's not fair to the people who actually showed up on the day they're supposed to be. For whatever reason, I'm not going to be, a judge or a jury and say, great reason, but yours is an excuse. I don't do that. You miss the test, it's a 0, but I will replace it. If you're 0, and you get an 85 on the final, 0 to 85. However, if your lowest test score is an 88 and you get an 85 on the final, I'm not going to change your 88 to an 85. Any questions? Important things to remember on testing: be on time. When I pass out the tests and people walking late, it's disruptive. So be on time. If you're not on time, I take off 10 percentage points. So if the test is worth 80 points, 10% of 80 is 8. I take off 8 points. The best you can do is a 72. That's bonus. So again, you can get some of that. Pencil only. I don't care what you do when you do quizzes, you should use pencil. I use pencil. But on test, pencil only. 5% point. And I even say this every time you take a test, make sure you use pencil. And I still have had students turn it in. I have pencils if you need them, and I still put it in. Last one, finish on. I don't do any lecture on testing. I don't lecture on new stuff. I might take some questions at the beginning, depending on how long it's going to take. You don't until 10 minutes. This test has been written to accommodate an hour-and-a-half long class. So they did it in an hour and a half. You guys have 2 hours and 15 minutes on the longest day that we use it. Finish on time. You don't finish on time. I say everybody turn the test. 10% points off. Because what always happens? Not just in the first 5 minutes to turn it to that. Grading scale. Your overall grade is 70% for the test. Quizzes are 15%, and homework is 15%. And then there's the scale. Yeah, I round. So 89.5 will round up to an A. But if you have an 89.4, do not try to squeeze an A out. Remember, I've already dropped 2 of those pistols. I've already replaced your old pistol with the fine. I've already done everything I could to get you up to the 89.4. You needed to have done something else to, can remember, 1/10 of a percentage point is not 1/10 of a point. There could be a lot of things. Things on the category. Yeah. So 89.4, that's it. 89.5, that's it. And here we go, attendance, drop policy. Course attendance is mandatory for success and every day. After 6 missed classes, you will be dropped. So between now and March 11th, you miss 6 times, you're going to drop. But here's the kicker: in that last week, if that's when you get your 6th absence in that last week, maybe something horrible has happened and you can't communicate with me. I don't know. I don't want to go anything. Probably won't drop you. And you think, oh, that's my 6th absence, I'm going to drop you. So you stop coming, but I didn't drop you because I wanted to get you. So that means if your intention is to drop you, please don't stop. Fight. Take the opportunity. The best. Okay. I do more charts, and it will show up when I give you a pin. By the way, I can tell you this right now. After every test, I also give you a printout of the overall grade, so you know exactly where you are in class and how you're doing. It also has absences on there. But when I click on the tardy or the left early, those kind of things, it counts it as a half an absence. I don't count those when I'm looking at total absences. Okay. I just look at they're not here, that's it. Don't worry about those little caps. But I always want to give you a chance. But that way I also, did I enter all the scores incorrectly? I use fat fingers sometimes. I want to make sure you verify that I did it correctly. Absences have been entered. Double check. Fortunately, the last piece of this is disruptive behavior policy. Out of respect, please turn off all electronic cell phones, and if you have those pagers still, there's a deal going down on the corner. I think your buyer wants to sell to you or something like that, or you're needed in the ER. So you're selling drugs or you're a doctor. I don't know. I know I had a pager in the 90s with my wife. If they cause a disruption, I'll ask you to leave for the day. Continues, you can be suspended for 2 days and I've done it before. Dishonesty, cheating, plagiarism. Dismissal for the day. That's not a needed dismissal for the class. Dismissal for the day. You can't make up the work with it. So if we were taking a quiz, you get a 0. Test, you get a 0. Okay, it can't be replaced. The test, we wouldn't be able to replace that one with the fine. It's a quiz, that's one I would not run. Because it's cheap. That's why no phones, no point and shoot apps that do the problems for. And that was the biggest problem with teaching online. That's what students do, they cheat. They learn absolutely nothing because they get the right answer and have no idea how to do it. And if they had to show work, they actually work for them. They just copy that stuff down. I had a student do an algebra 2 part problem, not for problem, with calculus. And I'm going, wow, this is interesting. I never put this together. Wow. Listen, on Zoom with you and you have to explain this process. Now, before that, oh, yeah, extra. Just, let's move on. I guess they hit the wrong button when they hit the app. I don't learn anything. And then mask requirements, week of the day, can't make it to work. We got extra masks, we have hand sanitizer, we got all sorts of things. Responsibility over my family has health. I don't know, kidney issues, my father had a kidney transplant. But make sure they're safe, I want to make sure you're safe. So, if you have verified need for method of accommodation of materials in media, braille, large print, electronic text, etc., for the Americans with Disability Act or Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, let me know as soon as possible. If you have a learning issue and have never been diagnosed, or if you already know you're a DSPNS student, make sure you connect with Tracy Med in the DSPNS office, which is through the two the last one there in the station building, to the back, and it's the second door, Tracy Med, MEMZ. She's our coordinator for the DSPNS. If you have to take the test in a place that's quieter, or you need extra extended time, those kinds of things, I have to have that paperwork in before we can do this accommodation. But as soon as we do, no problem. Here's some. If you have ever done a Pearson account or anything, use the same username and use the same password. You don't need to set up a whole new, account. You can use the same account that you set up at the beginning. So I'm going to go to Pearson enrollment. So if you have an account already, you're going here. If you're a student, I'm going right here. If you've never done it, register, you're going here. I'm going to go here, and I've done this before. So 3 things to get started: email address, course ID number, and access code, and some way to pay. You can buy an access code in the bookstore, which is a lot more expensive than just buying it through them. Now, some people have bought access codes on eBay, Amazon, those things. That's perfectly fine, and it can be cheaper. You just need to make sure it's for the correct edition. If you don't do the correct edition, you won't be at the same price. Register now. The first thing you're going to want is the course ID. So this is, that's the value. That's not the number. The number this time. 40334. Right here and there. And also on the syllabus. Right there, the 403. So over here on the right, intermediate algebra, there's the course number, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 10:45. Esquivel, course ends May 20th, 2022. You're in the right place. If you don't have an account, you have to make one. If you do have an account, you can sign in right here. Okay? Sign in. Now it's going to want money. So, if you bought an access code, that would be like a little shrink wrap cardboard thing. You open it up, it's got a whole bunch of numbers. Go here, if you bought an access code, either online or you bought it in the bookstore. You go here, you type it. So you've already paid for it, you just got to type it. If you're going to buy it from here, you click here. This gives you 18 weeks. This gives you, I believe, 2 years worth of access. Don't necessarily know if we're going to have it 2 years from now, but if you didn't pass the class and you think it next semester, you could still use the same textbook and you wouldn't have to pay it. It's only $74.99, but it's only good for this semester. So there's 2 prices you could possibly pay. A lot cheaper than buying the textbook. If you bought the textbook physically with the access code, you're talking at $280. Okay. So I usually recommend going through Pearson itself. Otherwise, do your own thing if you're doing access code from a bookstore or somewhere else. But once you get in, okay, and if you're waiting for financial aid, I really wish they would make this bigger. We're waiting for financial aid. You can buy a 2-week temporary access. No, you can get a free 2-week temporary access. And then you can pay for it in 2 weeks. Or you can pay for it whenever you get the financial aid. Maybe it's not going to get in January. If you don't want to activate it until next week, so you have it until the end of January. It's up to you. Whenever the financial aid stuff in, will be paid. Whatever it might be. But that right there is an option. So if you did it today, it would terminate on the 25th. If you did it tomorrow, it would terminate on the 26th. So check. And that is all explained here. All explained here. Once you are in, on my home screen, it's going to be your class. You are basically going to be working right here on this assignment. And our first 8.1, it's just these first 2. 8.1, no, just these first 2. That's what the first unit is. 3.4, 3.5, and 3.6. Review. 3.6, some of you might not have ever seen the little bit of new stuff, the 3.1, 3.5, hopefully you've seen if you did math field here. If you did algebra 2 in high school, you've seen it all. This is all review. Somewhere, I don't do this. Some of you. And yeah, it looks like a lot. First question. The problem. And I'm going to walk us through some little more on look at this first homework question. Find the slope. And these 2 points. Some of you are not going to be able to sit in front of a computer and do the homework without going to everywhere else. I know I. There's not. If you go to get more help. It used to be down here at the bottom of the curve. I go here to that top left and it says print. Over here, there's little settings. Settings view. I can print this question out. Or I can print out the entire homework assignment, all 50 problems. I'll show you what it looks like in PDF. If this extra box does not open up, it's because your cookies need to be switched. Okay? It's not, your computer's not letting you open up the extra box. You need to turn tell your computer to accept that box. So here's all the homework problems that are here that you have to answer. And you print that out and you do the pencil and paper like you're going to do the test. Then you go back in later and type in your answer. So you can have access to your homework anywhere and just sit in front of the computer. And if you print it, you don't have to just print it. No, that's a lot of problems right here. That's 11 pages. If you're smart about it, into per sheet. Maybe you print it 2 pages every sheet. Now it's only 6 pages. The action gets smaller. I will move this more in depth in detail. What your homework assignment get online here's that's basically it. That's what I would expect. But I take roll and if you are hoping to add, definitely I'll add you. So stick around and I'll give you the add numbers. And if I mispronounce names, please wait until Thursday to correct it. Is it Sarah or Sarah? Is it? Aguilera. I just said, wait until Thursday to hear I am. Alan Calderon. Vanessa Carrillo Gonzalez. Vanessa.